Okay, so now let's look on page 99, exercise B. So let's look at the conversation. How long has Sandra been talking on the phone? So again, just to remind you, because we have trouble making questions. How long is the question word or phrase. Has is the helping verb. Sandra is the subject. And been talking is the present perfect continuous tense. So you can see that question structure here in the chart, in the middle of the chart. The top part are yes/no questions. The middle part are the information questions. So just make sure you understand how to make questions, because the structure for present perfect continuous is a little bit more complicated. So you need to practice. Okay, and so the answer is for 20 minutes. But I want you to make complete sentence answers for practice. And if you forgot how to make those statements, you can look here in the third part of the chart. So you can see that we use the subject first, and then the present perfect continuous tense, and then we have to use for or since. Okay, for or since. So, for example, for number 1, you can say, Sandra or she has been talking on the phone for 20 minutes. She has been talking on the phone for 20 minutes. Okay, so go ahead and complete this exercise, and you can pause the video and resume it when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at number 2. We can ask, how long has Ron been waiting for the bus or for a taxi? Of course, you can just say, how long has Ron been waiting? But if you want to add more information, just like number 1, how long has Sandra been talking on the phone? So you can see that the conversation added on the phone. So you can do that for the other ones as well. But here I'm just going to say, how long has Ron been waiting for the bus? So we can answer, he has been waiting for 8 minutes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't say 8 minutes. That's actually 8 o'clock. So we could say, Ron has been waiting for the bus since 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock is a specific time, so we have to use since. So again, he has been waiting for the bus since 8 o'clock. Okay, let's look at number 3. How long has Latifa been studying? Okay, and of course, if you want, you can add additional information. For example, how long has Latifa been studying English? Okay, so we can answer, she has been studying all morning. Actually, we have to use for or since. So we can say since morning, okay, because morning is a specific time. So she has been studying, or she has been studying English since morning. Okay, and then let's look at number 4. How long has Jerry been practicing keyboarding? Okay, I know that's a little tricky because keyboarding is a gerund form as well, because it's an activity, and it also ends in ing. So you might think, oh, can I use 2 ings? And yes, you can. So we can say, how long has Jerry been practicing keyboarding? Okay, so practicing is a continuous verb, and keyboarding is a gerund. So yes, you can use 2 ing forms together, but in this case, the first form is a verb, a continuous verb, and the second form is a gerund. Okay, so we can answer, Jerry has been practicing keyboarding since 10:30. Or again, he has been practicing keyboarding since 10:30. Okay, number 5. how long have, and we have to use have in this case because Felix and Pablo are two people. So it's third person, not singular, plural, third person plural. So we have to say, how long have Felix and Pablo been painting the house? How long have Felix and Pablo been painting the house? So we can answer, they have been painting the house for 2 days. They have been painting the house for 2 days. So 2 days is a duration or a period of time. So we have to use for. Okay, number 6. How long has Sharon been working in the restaurant? How long has Sharon been working in the restaurant? She has been working in the restaurant since 2011 or 2011. She has been working in the restaurant, or we can also say there. We can say she has been working there since 2011. When we answer questions, we often use pronouns or adverbs to or instead of saying the subject and the nouns again and again. It's more natural to say she's been working there since 2011. Okay, now number 7. How long has Brad been looking for a job? How long has Brad been looking for a job? He has been looking for several weeks, or he has been looking for a job, or he has been looking for one for several weeks. So in this case, the pronoun one is a job. So he has been looking for one for several weeks. And several weeks is a duration, so we have to use for. Okay, and the last one. How long has Elena been attending this school? How long has Elena been attending this school? She's been attending this school since last semester. She's been attending this school since last semester. Let's look at exercise 3, communicate. Now, since we are not with our classmates, we can't do this conversation activity, and the questions probably won't apply to your family members or your children, or maybe they will, but what I want you to do is just practice making questions. So we're going to make questions for each of these activities, and you don't have to ask someone. You can just practice making the questions. So let's look at drive. Okay, so for drive, we can ask, how long have you been driving? How long have you been driving? Or if you want, you can use Josephina since she's in the example. So you can say, how long has Josephina been driving? How long has Josephina been driving? So just pay attention to the structure of the question, and also whether or not you should use, or whether you should use have or has. Okay, take some time to complete the questions for the rest of the activity, and you can pause the video and resume it when you're finished. Okay, so for the second activity, cook for yourself, we can ask, how long have you been cooking for yourself? How long have you been cooking for yourself? Okay, and then the third activity, we can ask, how long have you been attending this school? How long have you been attending this school? Okay, and then the fourth activity, we can ask, how long have you been working in this country? How long have you been working in this country? And the next activity, we can ask, how long have you been speaking English? How long have you been speaking English? And the last one, we can ask, how long have you been using a computer? How long have you been using a computer? Okay, so if you want, you can answer those questions on your own, but I'm going to open up our worksheet. Okay, so you can see Lesson B, Present Perfect Continuous, on the screen. Now, let's look at exercise A. Put the time phrases in the correct column. And then add 2 more time phrases. But you can do this second part on your own. But we're going to look at for and since. And if you remember, we use for with durations or time periods, and then since with specific times. So go ahead and take some time to add these phrases to the correct column. So you can pause the video and resume when you're finished. Okay, so let's take a look at for. Or actually, let's do it like this. Okay, so we already know that the first phrase, 2 days, is a duration, so we can put it under for. Let's look at 3 p.m. Where do you think that goes? So hopefully you put it in the correct column. 3 p.m. should go under since. Actually, let me write that down here. Oops, that's the wrong button. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Okay. Oh, how do I close this? Just accept. There we go. Close. Okay. And, oh, I'm sorry. So you have to bear with me a little bit. I did this earlier. I don't know what happened. Okay. Okay, so here we go. All right, so 3 p.m. And then let's look at 3 years. So 3 years is a duration, so we can put that under 4. Okay, and then September. September is a specific time, so we can put it under since. Oops. Okay, and then July 12th. That's also specific, so we can say since July 12th. Oops. And then a long time. That is a duration, so you are probably familiar with that phrase, for a long time. Okay, and then 2012. That's also specific, a specific year, so we can say since 2012. 5 hours, that is a duration, for 5 hours. Okay, yesterday, since yesterday. Okay, and then, but keep in mind, when we use since, we are, well, you know what? Okay, forget that. Sorry. Let's look at the next one. 10 weeks. For 10 weeks. That's a duration. And then Friday. That's a specific time. So we can say Friday. Since Friday. And then a month. So that's a duration. So we can say for a month. Now, let me make a comment. If you say a month ago, then that goes under since, because that's a specific time. So since a month ago, 1 month ago. So actually, let me actually put that here. So when we say ago, then we have to put it under since. Okay, this morning, that is specific. So we can say this morning. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, so let's move on to the next activity. Exercise B. It says rewrite the sentences so they have the same meaning. Use the present perfect continuous. So let's look at number 1. I started working here 6 weeks ago. Okay, so we're going to use this sentence to make a present perfect continuous sentence with the same meaning. So I started working here 6 weeks ago. This is past tense. So we can say I have been working here for 6 weeks. Okay, so go ahead and take some time to finish this exercise, and we will look at it together. So again, pause the video and continue when you're done. Okay, so let's look at number 2. We started using computers 5 years ago. And again, this is past tense. Let's change it to present perfect continuous tense. So we can say, we have been using computers for 5 years. Okay. So we have been using computers for 5 years. All right, let's look at number 3. Rick started looking for a job in July. Okay, so we can say, Rick has been looking for a job since July. Oops. Okay, there we go. Rick has been looking for a job since July. And then, number 4, Serena started studying art in 2008. So we can say Serena has been studying art. Let's see, now it is 2020, so that's 12 years. So we can say since, I'm sorry, no, not since. Or actually, you can say that. You can say since 2008. Oops. And you can also say for 12 years, since we know that 12 plus 2008 is 2020. So Serena has been studying art since 2008. Okay, and then number 5, Tina and Tam started fixing the car 3 hours ago. Okay, so we can say Tina and Tam have been, because it's 2 people, fixing the car for 3 hours. Okay, Tina and Tam have been fixing the car for 3 hours. And then number 6, you started talking on the phone 40 minutes ago. So we can say you have been talking. So you is second person, so we have to use have. You have been talking on the phone for 40 minutes. Okay? Okay. So let's move on to exercise C. Correct the sentences. Add the missing word. So let's look at number 1. How long you been working here? So obviously something's missing. We have to include have. How long have you been working here? Okay. Let's look at number 2. Have you waiting for a long time? So something's wrong. What do you think is wrong? Okay, yes. So we should say, have you been waiting for a long time? Have you been waiting for a long time? Okay. And then number 3, we been painting this house since Monday. We been painting this house since Monday. So something's missing. Okay. Yes. So we can say we have been painting this house since Monday. We have been painting this house since Monday. Okay, and then number 4. Has Tran been studying a long time? Has Tran been studying a long time? Okay, so in this case, what's missing? Okay, so in this case, we have to say, has Tran been studying for a long time? Has Tran been studying for a long time? Now, let me mention that you might hear people omit for. Sometimes you might hear people say, Tran has been studying a long time, and that's okay, actually. So sometimes we take for out, but for your practicing, I want you to include for. Okay, and then number 5, how have we been waiting here? How have we been waiting here? Okay, so we need to include how long. Oops, let's see, let's try that again. How long have we been waiting here? Okay, and then the last one. Dennis and Jean have talking all morning. Dennis and Jean have talking all morning. So what's missing? Okay, yes, we need to say Dennis and Jean have been talking all morning. Okay, Dennis and Jean have been talking all morning. All right, so this is the end of our lesson today, and I will update you with some announcements in our WhatsApp chat. So make sure you complete the lesson, and of course, let CPACs know in the text messaging group when you're finished with the lesson. And then keep checking your WhatsApp, because I sometimes make announcements in the WhatsApp group chat. Okay, I'll see you next time.